Alright, we're gonna start this video off with a bang. Wait, hold up, no, not that kind of bang. Man, I should really avoid offending the newest additions to Jurassic World Evolution by mocking a catastrophe that killed off their ancestors. What's that, you haven't heard? Well, Frontier finally added 3 new dinosaurs to Jurassic World Evolution, and no guys, it's not free. It's in a dinosaur pack known as the Carnivore pack that you had to purchase aside from the actual game. And not only is this pack available for all 3 platforms, it's alongside the 1.7 update that was just recently released just the other day. And of course I was unable to get to it on time because, well, don't worry guys, I have a good reason. I was lazy. Okay, but the actual reason is good, okay? I wasn't able to get the pack because I was in school and I wasn't able to get my hands on it at the time. I'm not saying Frontier is picking on me, I'm just saying they always release their content in the most inconvenient times for me. But don't worry, I managed to get my hands on this pack, and basically we're just going to be taking a look at it today, deciding whether or not it's actually worth it, seeing if these dinosaurs bring anything new to the table, or if they have the same old animations with the same old skins. Okay, I'm going to be honest, I don't have the dinosaur animations recorded right now on the account that I got tired of playing after the excessive 2 hours it took for me to research, extract, and complete all 3 dinosaur genomes. Okay, in reality, the majority of that time was just me fucking around with the new capture mode. It's so cool! Alright, this took a lot more time than it needed to, but I finally was able to get all the dinosaurs incubated with all the available skins I actually have at the moment. So I'm sorry if I don't have all the skins because I do know I'm missing out on some. So we're just going to start off with the Proceratosaurus, probably the, least excited dinosaur of this pack. Out of all 3 dinosaurs of this pack, this one was probably most likely the least anticipated, which I can relate. Okay, but anyways, we're just going to be taking a look at the default skin first, along with all the other skins. But let's take a look at the default first. Okay, so just looking at the skin, I can already tell that it's actually just a little dull, but I really do appreciate the bright orange color it has on its crest in comparison to the rest of its body color, which I have to say it's very different. I mean, yeah, it's plain and there's not a whole lot to say, but what do you expect from a default skin? I'm expecting a lot more from the other skins in terms of creativity and the overall look of the dinosaur. And as far as the overall model goes, it's nothing unique. Obviously, it's the same kind of model that it would have for like a Velociraptor or just any small carnivore in the game. Animations when it's killing both the goat and other dinosaurs are pretty much the same as all the other small dinosaurs, so that's nothing new. So far I'm being a bit doubtful, but maybe taking a look at more dinosaur skins might change my mind. This one's the Alpine skin, and we all know that the Alpine skin basically means an albino version of the dinosaur, and I was pretty much right. The dinosaur itself, it's looking pretty dull there. It's a grayish white type of color, but at least the crest has some color in it. But it's kind of weird when something's so lifeless. I don't really know how else to describe it, but lifeless looking can have such a bright color as the crest. I don't even know if that crest is a bright color. Honestly, the Alpine skin doesn't sell me as much as a default skin does, because at least the default skin looks a bit more lively as far as colors go. Let's not get discouraged. The next skin color is the Steppe skin color, and I have to say, it's a real step up from the last one. Congratulations, Diego, you get the award for being the most unfunniest piece of garbage ever. Okay, but in all seriousness, the Steppe pattern is actually a really good skin and much better than the last one. I really do like the really dark red color with the slightly lighter red as the crest. I think it's a nice step up. There it is again. And honestly, a great addition to the game. I really like it. The next skin color we have is the Arid, which I really like because it's nice and bright and yellow, and I really love the color of the crest. And it's kind of cool how we transition from a very dark dinosaur to a very bright one. It just kind of goes to show the variety that Frontier provides in terms of color, no matter how dull or how amazing they can look. All in all, I really like this skin, especially the crest. The crest has this kind of purplish violet color that it starts off with, then slowly transitions into a light orange. Alright, the last skin pattern for the Proceratosaurus, the Vivid, is kind of weird. Honestly, I have mixed feelings about the Vivid as a whole. On some dinosaurs it looks good, on others it doesn't look as fitting, I would say. It looks very weird and very strange on something like the Proceratosaurus. Don't get me wrong, I can appreciate the dark color it has on its skin compared to the very bright color it has on its crest. It's kind of why I like the default skin so much. But it's just so weird to me how a color that dark can go with a color that bright. I don't know, it just looks kind of weird to me. And again, I have mixed feelings about this, but for the most part, I don't really like it. On to the next dinosaur, the Herrerasaurus. We have 4 skins unlocked for the Herrerasaurus, the first one being obviously the basic one, so let's just take a look at this one, see our first thoughts on it. Honestly, I really do like the default skin on this one, just because I feel like it offers a more realistic version of the Herrerasaurus, if you will. A very green, with, you know, a lighter striped green running along its skin. But I really do like it. I mean, sure, it's kind of plain, especially since, you know, of course, it's the default. But for the default skin, I have to say, it looks pretty good in my opinion. Despite its slightly larger size of the Proceratosaurus, it still has the fight and a kill animation similar to that of the Velociraptor. I guess it's just considered a small dinosaur at this point. I'm not entirely sure. I thought the Herrerasaurus was going to probably be as big as the, well, not the Metriacanthosaurus, but slightly bigger than the Velociraptor. And it is, but it doesn't have any special animations, just the same ones. So, I mean, I guess that makes sense, actually. Next Herrerasaurus we have is the Alpine Herrerasaurus, and you guessed it, the albino one. So well, you guys know how I feel about the Alpine. It's very plain, not too much detail. It's basically just a white version of the Herrerasaurus with a slightly darker white kind of glossed over to make it look like it has some sort of pattern. And honestly, I would say it's effective, I guess, but it just doesn't sell me, in my opinion. For other people, I'm pretty sure they'll like this pattern. It just, for me, doesn't offer a realistic feel to it, or just a very exotic feel, which is kind of what I look for in these dinosaurs, just for something different, something outgoing, something bright and lively. This skin just doesn't really offer any of those things. Next we have the step skin, and I have to say I kind of like this one just because it has a slightly different pattern with different colors. I really like the blue color on the Herrerasaurus. I think it's kind of different, and it actually looks kind of good on it. I feel like the Herrerasaurus looks good with blue just as well as it does with green. And I mean, the colors are pretty dull with this one, but you know, sometimes a dull dinosaur isn't a bad thing. Sometimes a dull skin color just means a more realistic dinosaur, and I feel like this dinosaur would have this skin color. And last but definitely not least, we have the arid Herrerasaurus, which I have to say looks really cool. I really like the brown colored skin, which is something I feel like we don't see a whole lot on dinosaurs, or at least you know, a brown color this dark. I really do think it looks cool, and I do like the pattern that comes with it. So for the most part, I really do like this dinosaur. And finally, the last dinosaur of the carnivore pack, one that a lot of people have actually requested. I've seen a lot of people request the Acrocanthosaurus. So first we're going to take a look at the default skin of this guy, and I have to say the default skin looks pretty solid. It actually looks really cool, very realistic, and it kind of reminds me of the Carcharodontosaurus default skin, which I ended up really liking when I first saw it. And like all the other dinosaurs, kill animations with both goats and other dinosaurs are pretty much the same, not offering too much, you know, unique animations, which is something we try to look for in these dinosaur packs. And I guess it just goes to show that, you know, none of these dinosaurs have any unique animations. And once again, we have another alpine skin, this one being on the Acrocanthosaurus, and I have to say, it doesn't look that bad. I mean, I feel like the variation between the colors are a bit more differentiated than the last two dinosaurs, but I still think it looks very plain, and I'm not a huge fan of it. So, you know, Alpine is probably the bottom of my list so far as skin colors go for the dinosaurs. If you thought the other two dinosaurs weren't dark enough for the stepped skin pattern, well, you have not seen the Acrocanthosaurus, because this guy is like charcoal. I'm not even joking. They make the step color very, very dark for this guy for some reason. And that's not a bad thing. I really do like it. I especially like the stripe that goes down his back. But for the most part, it's just very plain. I do like it, don't get me wrong. It's very different from the other two dinosaurs, I feel like. Because the other two dinosaurs had dark skin colors, but they had more lively colors, I feel like you know, blue or red. This guy is like the spawn of Satan. Like, this is Satan's pet dinosaur. Next, we have my personal favorite skin color of the Acrocanthosaurus, the wetland ones. Honestly, guys, this one is my favorite because it's beautiful and realistic. Oftentimes with the skin colors provided, Frontier only offers dull skins, realistic skins, or exotic skins. This dinosaur has both beautiful exotic skin and realistic, because I feel like this color is definitely something the Acro would have. In my opinion, 10 out of 10 skin, love it, my favorite, probably in the whole game actually, is probably my favorite skin. And last, but definitely not least, the Vivid Acrocanthosaurus. And I have to say, I'm very impressed with the Vivid on this guy. Usually the Vivid, in my opinion, is just, it doesn't do well with a lot of dinosaurs. And I feel like they really sold it with the Acrocanthosaurus. It looks very lively, yet very dark, which is the whole point of the Vivid color skin. It's supposed to be a dark color, but at the same time, it says so much about the Acrocanthosaurus. And I really do like it. It almost reminded me of like a zebra skin pattern at first. And I'm just very impressed with it as a whole. And there you go, guys. All 3 dinosaurs in the Carnivores pack with all their skins and animations that I could provide for you guys today. Honestly, this video took way too long to make, and I do apologize that it took me so long to get it out. I didn't have the time, guys, and you know, just me finding this time to make a video for you is just a goddamn miracle. So I guess the question now is, at the end of the day, is this pack worth it? Well, seeing how the pack is only a little over $5 with a bunch of cool skin colors that are very effective with the dinosaurs that come with it, I say it is worth it. But, you know, that could just be a biased opinion seeing how I'm a sucker for dinosaurs. Sure, some of the skin colors are boring and dull, and there's no unique animations within any of these dinosaurs, but I still feel like it's worth it just because the model themselves, the skin colors that are provided that are really good, I just feel like they're amazing. And again, it might be just coming from a huge dinosaur lover who would pretty much buy anything that Frontier brings out. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this. This video was very different. If you noticed, I'm planning on doing videos like this more often. I don't know if I told you guys or not, because that's how disorganized I am with the channel, but I am not really planning on doing any more playthroughs from here on out. Yes, I'm doing playthroughs on stuff like Dino Hunter Deadly Shores, and maybe to finish up my All Dinosaurs on One Island series for Jurassic World Evolution, but that's pretty much it. As far as other games goes, I'm not really starting any other playthroughs or anything. So, some of you might be disappointed in that, and others might be, you know, I don't care. But if you did enjoy this format of the video today, then good, I'm really glad. And if you didn't, well, I'm sorry, but this is how it's going to be from now on. So you either deal with it or get out. I'm just kidding, I'm not mean.